UBC's Research Project Information Form, or RPIF, is the primary document submitted alongside any research grant application or project proposal receiving external funding to UBC. This form identifies a project's funding partners, resources, budget, and the necessary approvals needed for a project to move forward. Today, we'll walk through the 10 most common mistakes made when completing an RPIF, so you can avoid delays and set your project up for success. Let's get started. There are 9 sections to be completed before submitting your RPIF. In Section A, you will share the name of the project's principal investigator, who will have signing authority on the research grant once funds are received. The principal investigator should be a UBC faculty member who is eligible for holding research spending responsibility. Please ensure the listed PI in your project is eligible by referring to Article 4.1 of UBC Research Policy LR2. When inputting contact information, only use a UBC or health authority email address for contact. Other email accounts like Gmail will not be approved. In Section B, you will share project details, including the project title, funding sources, and budget. Ensure you have correctly filled out the original funding source, where the project's funds originate, and the primary funding source, where UBC is receiving the money from, or who we are contracting with. Oftentimes, an incorrect budget is the main reason an RPIF will be sent back to the submitter. Make sure this section is filled out completely, inclusive of direct, indirect, and total costs, and that the amount indicated on the RPIF matches the amount stated in the agreement. Please note that indirect costs are calculated as a percentage of the direct costs, not the total costs. If the indirect costs recovery rate in your RPIF is different from the standard rate, we require the signature from the Dean's office for approval to move forward. More details on budgeting and indirect costs can be found on research.ubc.ca, linked below. To avoid delays, make sure you specify which faculty, department, division, or institute the grant, also known as the research account, should be set up. Section C details resource implications. Please fill out this section of the form before moving to Section D. Depending on the nature of your project, various certifications and approvals will be required to move forward. To avoid delays, it is critical you include all certificate or application numbers in your RPIF upon submission. This is how our team determines if your agreement falls under the purview of sponsored research, and if so, what kind of agreement would be appropriate. Before moving to Section E, review the research ethics requirements for your project. Often, researchers are not aware that this is required for their specific project, and you will need to submit the proper applications so our team can proceed with processing the agreement. Please ensure all necessary approvals are submitted and have this included in your RPIF when submitting to our team. In Section E, you will indicate whether your RPIF is accompanied by a grant application form. For any RPIF sent to sponsored research, the answer in Section E should be no. All RPIFs, including a grant application form, should be sent to the Office of Research Services. In Section F, please list the contact of the entity from whom UBC is receiving funding. This must match what was listed as your primary funding source in Section B. Section G, conflict of interest, is often left open due to misinterpreting Section E, types of funding. Please ensure you have filled out this portion of the form and refer to UBC's conflict of interest policy prior to submitting. Section H requests additional information around proprietary or confidential materials. Fill out this section as applicable to your project. To complete your form, various signatures must be obtained. It is the responsibility of the researcher to complete this section and obtain all required signatures. After the department head and dean have signed the form, no changes should be made to the RPIF. If changes are required, the RPIF will need to be re-signed. Once the form has been completed, you can submit your RPIF. For all government and nonprofit grants or UBC internal funding applications, you must submit to the Office of Research Services. All other funding applications will go to Innovation UBC's sponsored research team. Do you have further questions? Visit our website, innovation.ubc.ca, to learn more and connect with our team. We're here to help. More information on the RPIF can be found on research.ubc.ca.